Hi guys, so in today's video I want to talk about a concept that I've come across in various books, and it's something that I've started incorporating into my life, and it's the concept of buying back your time. And it's something that I think a lot of people tend to see as being flashy maybe, or maybe having too much money or something. But actually, if you think about it from a pure sort of success and business perspective, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm also going to sort of link back to this article from I Will Teach You to Be Rich. And, you know, you can see here, he says, I'd like to take you behind the scenes of one of the most powerful productivity concepts I've learned as a business owner: buying back your time in both your working and personal lives. So it's something that isn't talked about a lot, because I think generally in the general population, a lot of people view these things as a waste of money. So for example, again, going back here, you know, the reasons people find buying back your time distasteful: we internalized at a young age what our family considers worth the money or a waste of money. Think back to your parents. They taught you some very explicit money messages about what too flashy is. But essentially what you're doing is creating more time for yourself to help yourself be more successful. So the general concept is figure out how much you make per hour working on your business and things like that. And then figure out how much you could pay someone else to do the things that you need to do. So I personally make 70 zloty per hour when I do teaching. So anything where I can pay someone less than that to do something I need to do saves me money. Do you know what I mean? So for example, the first thing that I do to buy back my time is I have a cleaner. She doesn't come all the time or anything like that, nothing too flashy, but the cleaner charges, say, 30 zloty per hour. So I can either spend, let's say, 4 hours doing a deep clean of my house, I was about to say apartment, of my house, and essentially give up 4 hours worth of teaching, in which case I'm giving up 280 zloty of income. Or I can get her to come and clean for 4 hours whilst I teach, pay her 120 zloty, and earn 280 zloty teaching, which means I've still made 160 zloty more than I would have if I was doing the cleaning myself. Does that make sense? So figuring out your hourly rate and then outsourcing what you can is essentially the sort of concept of being more successful. And honestly, it makes me happier as well with these things, because I outsource a lot of the things that I hate doing. So actually, not only am I able to make more money, I'm also able to focus my efforts and my time on things I enjoy doing. So you could say, for example, oh, why don't you clean and do all these things outside your working hours? You know, no one works 24/7, and I could, of course I could. But then when is my rest time? When is my happy time? Because this is the whole, like, you know, you work and then you come home and you have to tidy, cook, do all these chores and stuff, and then you barely have any time to rest. So it's just giving you a bit of an extra idea. So I've mentioned the first thing, which was having a cleaner. So that frees up a few hours per week for me. The second thing I do is I have a girl who, and this isn't all year round, but in sort of spring, summer, autumn, again, it's not like all the time. I have a girl who comes and essentially like does gardening for me, and not like all of the gardening, because I actually really enjoy gardening, but mostly she does the pulling of the weeds. So this is something I bloody hate doing. There's all the spiders, all the bugs, and it's such a difficult task sometimes when the weeds have like really strong roots. So again, I pay her like 20 zloty per hour, and I can spend that time teaching and making 70 zloty per hour. So once again, I'm saving time and taking the weeds out is really important because I live in a place where I'm surrounded by fields essentially that are full of weeds. So if I don't look after my garden, it will just get overtaken by weeds. So it is something that I need to do. The third way that I buy back my time, it's not something that I'm going to do forever, I don't think. I'm really enjoying it, but it is really expensive. This one is probably less about saving money because the other two, I think you can clearly see the maths of, I make 70, I pay them 20, 30, therefore I'm in the plus. Whereas with this one, it's more about peace of mind, it's more about health, and it's more about not having to spend time cooking and cleaning, which I, again, hate doing. And that is a box diet. So essentially, it's where I choose my preferences, I choose my calorie intake, and every day, almost every day, because I don't do it on weekends, but they send me, or not send me, the driver brings it every morning. They bring me my meals for the day, and again, it's not cheap, and it's kind of impossible for this one to work out like money savings, but I have to spend money on food either way, right? So it's not 100% of a cost, if that makes sense. Like how much I'm paying for this box diet, 100% of that isn't an additional cost because I would have been spending some of that anyway. And it saves me time thinking what I need to eat, shopping for food, making the food, cleaning up after the food. And it means that someone's counting my calories for me, which I'm really trying to do at the moment because I have thyroid problems and my weight really went up over the last few years. And I am majorly keen on trying really hard this year to lose weight. So, like I said, it's probably not something that I will do forever unless I suddenly become really super rich. But for now, it is something that majorly helps me in my life. And the fourth way, it's not really something that I'm doing where I'm paying someone per hour or anything like that. This is a thing where I have to put up an upfront investment of a large sum, but it will save me during summer months about 3 hours per day. And that is implementing an automatic watering system into my garden because I have a big piece of land and we have really hot summers in Poland. And I kid you not, in the worst months where it was just never raining and really hot, I had to water my garden for like 3 hours per day on average. Some days 2 hours, some days 4 hours. So let's say 3 on average. And don't get me wrong, I actually really enjoy watering the garden. I find it quite relaxing and peaceful, and generally gardening is great for me, like for my mental health and stuff. But spending 3 hours per day having to water your garden, that is a big chunk of time. That is a big chunk of time that I could be using to do other things like working on my business. So whilst it's not a cheap investment because it's going to cost me about 7,000 zloty, basically for the rest of my life, I don't have to water my garden. So it is pretty awesome. So those are my sort of 4 ways that I'm buying back my time. And I just want to show you as well, just on this article, some other examples of people buying back their time. So, for example, I started paying a girl to take care of our horses twice a week so I can train. I moved the gym into my apartment, get delivery for everything, and have a full-time personal chef. Okay, that is a lot further down the line, but similar to box diet, right? Have a cleaner that comes over once a week. She also does small errands. Paying a cleaner. So a cleaner is actually really popular because no one likes cleaning, and generally cleaners do a better job than you would yourself. Then you've got these concepts as well that they mention here. So something as silly as eating at a restaurant is buying back your time. Taking an Uber instead of walking or taking public transport. Paying full price rather than spending hours hunting. These are all examples of buying back your time, but maybe not is in an as explicit of a way. So yeah, have a think to see whether there's any way you could do that. And, you know, I would start by making it be something that genuinely will make you earn more money. So, you know, those examples where I said I would pay the cleaner or the gardening lady to work on those things for me whilst I work, and I'm still better off financially. And then you can look at, once you're growing your income by doing that, then incorporating the other elements. So, okay. Hopefully that has given you something to think about. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.